Hello and welcome to another Beer Reviews. Today we're going to be trying a beer that I've just seen and it's kind of exploded all across the market, sitting in all the supermarkets, and I thought, well, I've got to get my hands on and give it a try. Sounds interesting, we'll see whether it is or not. This is JW Buddy's bourbon flavoured beer with a hint of honey. Very, very, very long name. So there you go, you might have seen this, I'm sure you have. If you're into your craft ales and you've been down in the supermarket recently, you've most likely seen this bottle or JW Buddy's face staring at you. It's 5.1, and to say the least, it sounds interesting. It sounds like everything that a craft beer geek could be into. A bourbon flavoured beer with a little hint of honey as well. What worries me about it, which is why I thought I'd give it a try, it's got all the makings of perhaps being like a good old American craft beer. American craft beer, I should say, but this one is brewed in the UK to a recipe license from Buddy's Brewhouse in Michigan by Global Brands Limited. So it's most likely a macro beer brewed in the UK, so it's contract brewed out. I can imagine that they aren't, it's bourbon flavoured, it's not bourbon barrel aged or anything, so I'm assuming it's some sort of artificial flavour they're putting in, and with a hint of honey doesn't fill me with a huge amount of confidence in the beer either, or it would say that it had honey in it. In fact, does it have a vegan or vegetarian thing on it? No, it doesn't. But hey, if it's a good beer, who cares if it's brewed in the UK? Who cares? So let's give it a try. Nice little bottle on the, nice little top on the bottle too. I like the kind of American speakeasy style. It's got this kind of billboard poster American feel from the 20s or 30s or 40s, and you know, any of those time periods. Right, nice little carbonation when it comes coming out the top of the glass there. Pour it into a nice long glass. See if we can't get ahead on it. Well, first things first, it is a lovely colour. It's kind of a nice peachy flavour. Peachy colour in fact. Very light amber. Very light amber, almost pilsner level, almost you know, a light lager, but there's slightly more colour to it. Massive amounts of carbonation in there. Again, almost lager-esque rather than ale. Nice little bit of head on it. It's sticking around. It's about a one finger head. Oh look, if I shake it, look how much. That's a lot of carbonation. I'm assuming that's forced carbonated quite high in the bottle. In fact, it will be bottle conditioned, so it won't have any sediment, will it? No sediment. So I'm assuming it's forced conditioned. Right, anyway, let's get a nose in there and give it a good smell. Well, that's majorly disappointing. Corny. Corn, skunky. It doesn't smell appealing at all. There's like sort of honey smell at the back, but it's not a honey sweetness. It's kind of, do you know when you have honey and you eat it and there's kind of like a savoury undertone, and then there's the sweetness, the sugary sweetness over the top of it. That sort of savoury honey flavour residually hanging on the back of the nose, but corn, lots of corn. Doesn't smell particularly appetizing at all. I don't get any sort of whiskey character coming through. I don't get any hop character. Whoever made this beer has clearly forgotten to dry hop, or has never heard of dry hopping ever. It just smells a bit lackluster. That's a shame, but we've had beers that have been good but smell of absolutely nothing. So hey ho, let's give it a shot. Cheers, guys. You know, when you get a sore throat and you go down to your local supermarket, you go to the medicine aisle and you pick up your favourite lozenge sweet for sore throats in a honey and lemon flavour. I've just found the liquid version of it. No, it's not good. It's not good. Totally palate-blowingly sweet. The point of like of cloying, the aftertaste. Oh, you can taste the sweetness. The honey tastes super artificial. It just does taste like a. It just tastes like a strepsil. It really does. honey and lemon strepsils in a glass. It's too sweet. The honey flavour is artificial. This lemon extract flavour note kind of coming through it. I'm not getting anything in the way of the kind of bourbon flavours. I'm missing the bourbon flavours completely. Perhaps this artificial honey flavour is meant to emulate somewhat a bourbon flavour too. Mouthfeel, sort of medium, kind of fizzy. In fact, the mouthfeel is quite pleasant. The mouthfeel is nice. The flavour is just not. It's not good. There's no balance. There's absolutely no hop flavour. Any sort of characteristic of beer that you could pick out, that if it had a nice rich malt body, had a little bit of that whiskey smoky sweetness to it, a nice hint of honey, all those words sound like they make a good beer, and I'm sure there are people out there who have done a good bourbon beer with honey. I can guarantee it. What I would hazard to say this is a beer. It's not a beer, is it? It's not. It's something macro produced with extracts of flavours. Just like picking up a vanilla extract from home baking. That, but with a honey flavour and a bourbon flavour. That's all it is. It's thoroughly unimpressive, nasty to drink. This is almost worse than going to grabbing a can of Foster's or something. Mainly because it tastes so bad. It's super sweet and really nasty. Horrible. What's the lowest rating we can give a beer? What's the lowest rating? Do you give it a 0 out of 10? Do you give it a 1 out of 10? Do you give it thumbs up, at least for having an effort of having a funky ass bottle or something? No, it's not good. I'm not even going to give you a rating. It doesn't deserve it. Come back again, JW Buddy, and your Buddy's bourbon flavoured beer, where you can actually brew a beer. JW Buddy to the state, or Buddy to his pals, was told that nothing mixed with beer. He didn't listen. He should have blooming listened, is what he should have done. Oh dear. Thank you, Global Brands Limited. You've ruined my palate for the night. Yeah, so I'm assuming that other brew tubers are going to be reviewing this one very soon. This is a word of warning to all of you. This is nasty. This is not good. It's not craft beer. It's terrible. I would drink a skunked Heineken over this. And that's saying a lot. So, like, favourite, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of this quasi beer thing. If you like it, tell me why. I'd be very interested to hear why it's not for me. And thank you very so much for watching. I will catch you all again on the next Bear Beer reviews. Hopefully next time with a very nice beer. Cheers.